beat them. Let me answer some media questions. Already, Trudell, I see on the Destiny tip. All right, Larry Ridley with his boring halftime show self. Many folks, including yourself, thought this team would perform better last season, but things did not come together. How do you avoid that again this season? From start to finish, the coaching has to be consistent. Leadership starts at the top, and that means the staff has to stay on point. That's a pretty boring response. The players in the locker room need to stay focused on our goals. This is a playoff team. They need to show that every week. I kind of like that one. We start by forgetting last season. Love it. This is a different team, and it's a team that knows we can't miss the playoffs again. Let's go with that one. Team popularity, if we make the playoffs, is increased. We're going to go with that one, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Who we got next week? Detroit. Or Detroit. Is it Detroit or Detroit? Let me see.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Man, improve on these. Let's see. Let's skip training. I want to run just the offense. Oh, we got moderators in the chat now. I see you. Okay. I like that. Give me a sec, y'all. I'm trying to get everything set up. Let's change the unis. Change these uniforms. Come on now. See what different helmets. We got the Color Rush helmets. Oh, they got the old school Giants. The Giant throwback. Okay, well, there we go. Home pants, away pants, a little bit darker. We might go with the away pants. The Color Rush. The Nike alternates. What's up, Game Changer? Eternal was good. Trying to play when you get home. Feel you on that one, man. I'm trying to play now. Nike alternates. Let's see the 1980 throwbacks. Let's just go with the boring home regular generic uniforms. But I did not pick the Giants because of their uniforms. One thing I did notice is playing Madden with the HDR enabled. It looks a bit darker. Like on games that it would normally be like sunny outside without the HDR, pretty bright looking. Even on sunny games, it's like this dark hue to it. I don't know what they did. I don't know. It almost doesn't look right. It almost didn't look right. It looked right at first, but now it kind of don't look right. Yeah, it kind of don't look right. We gonna skip that, man. We gonna skip that intro. See, we playing in the Dome Stadium, so it ain't that bad, but it still look good though. This is my franchise, Eternal.
Now following the interception, this offense will get another shot.
And your boy replaced Eli Manning at the quarterback position because I can. And yes, my stats are all on 99 because I can. When did the Giants get a 99 QB? When I made him. When I made me. When I created me, when I was born, I was a 99 quarterback. In the first play of the scrimmage, I threw a pick. My receiver's got to go get that, man. No, Zay, that wasn't fast at all, man. It was 3 months. It was like the longest 3 months of my life. That was a long 3 months, man. Appreciate that though, Zay. I love y'all too, man. Only reason I'm not live streaming, I'm doing it now, probably instead of this evening, is because probably going to the football games.
Now they get ready to head back on the field. Last time wasn't pretty. One play and an
Looked like a 69. Okay, you name me one quarterback that hadn't thrown an interception, man. What's up, Antonio?
This drive, after what happened on the last one, throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Did he? Are you serious? Oh man. Come on now, man. Come on now. That dude, y'all know how I do, man. I just can't. I should have played on competitive, but the only reason I ain't play on competitive It's because of the. I need to lower my shoulder pads, man. Look at that. Them jokers is high. Anyway, only reason I ain't play on competitive is because there's no injuries on competitive, and that's not realistic to me. But homeboy had the ball. It's just butterfinger like crazy, man. That boy got. What team I went to? Oh, wrong team. Oh no, I'm just playing with somebody, man. I'm not. You know, I'm not one to have a favorite NFL team. I'm just playing bad until college football come back out.
Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen.
Ooh, truck stick, and it did not work.
Across the 35.
That boy was denied. He been running pretty good. He had a good game last week for us.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground.
See?
They want to get that going again.
Told you.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
It's a 6-yard
Yeah, buddy.
on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down.
I do too, man. I like college football too, but unfortunately we don't have it. This big old running back like a softy, man. Oh, big self and can't even truck nobody. Now, granted, that's a defensive line. You know, I'll give him that.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough.
Do
confidence to
IMV?
go ahead and run the ball.
Nah.
In that situation.
Yes, Madden did lie about a lot of things, but that's Madden.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
That's Madden for you. Only thing I don't like is whenever you see the intro trailer, like when they was talking about the introductions and stuff, they showing like the crowds. I've yet to see that screen. I mean that camera angle. Like they made it look like it was epic, and it's not. But IMV, I ain't heard that they've been scamming people.
You can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you.
I hadn't heard that. I mean, everybody looking to them for college football, but I mean, people got to understand that's like a 2 to 3 year project. By that time, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to wait that long. EA could put out a game next year if they wanted to. And the problem is, you know, everybody's saying, well, they want to do real life rosters, and if that's the case, EA is so stupid. If that's the case, and I'm gonna say that because if you're trying to do real, if the only reason you're not putting out a college football game is to do real rosters, that's dumb. That's dumb because in college football, don't nobody care about real life rosters. What they gonna do? The same thing they doing now. They gonna create the rosters, and people will download them. So it ain't no point to. Oh, that was nice. It ain't no point to do that.
He's taken down at the 22.
Now I will say that about the running backs though. If they trucking status good, they'll truck some folks. But yeah, that's dumb for EA to do that. Like you literally made it in Madden, Texas and Oregon with generic rosters, and nobody complained. Nobody was like, oh, this is not the real Texas. No, people are going to create the rosters. And the cool thing about college football games is in 4 years, you're going to have a completely different team. So it don't even matter. Well, I'll say 5 years because that gives, well, 6 years because it gives those redshirt freshmen time to get out the system.
They'll look to throw. A screen here to Vereen.
I shouldn't have threw the screen with him in there, his slow self. He ain't slow, he just not fast. Yeah.
It's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read.
I'm going to tell you what I don't like in Madden is them dive tackles.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the
dive tackles to me are so OP because the ball carrier, you can be 5 yards in front of the guy, but if he dives, it's going to make you snap. If you dive, it's going to make him go into like this animation that automatically makes him. It's like the game predetermines that he's going to be tackled based off of that dive animation. That's my 2nd interception in the first half. That is a shame. I'm embarrassed. I didn't think that linebacker was going to drop. I didn't see him.
At their own own 20-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively.
Come on, Dale, break a tackle.
2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe
Am I the only one that create my player like 99 overall? I've been doing that for years. I love doing it. Why not? They give me the option to. Am I streaming tomorrow or Sunday? We'll see. I probably will.
Here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
I'll probably will.
They'll run. It's
Good block, no! Oh, man, stay on your feet. That would have been a big run. That was a nice block, man.
A good run there on first down.
I don't know why the old lineman ain't doing it. Now, game changer, let me ask you this. What mode are you playing on? Because to me, I'm going to be honest with y'all. The best balance that I've seen is playing on All Pro. When you play on All Madden, you don't do nothing. What is Odell Beckham without speed? What you mean? One of the best route runners in the game? One of the best pair of hands in the game? He'd be an awesome possession receiver. He already that. Oh, man. Did they patch the quarterbacks to where when you scramble, they take them little stutter steps again? Because when the game first came out, when you try to run with a quarterback, they just take out.
Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the
Oh, come on, Brandon Marshall. All that size for what? But yeah, like I said, I think I'm going for it. I think it depends on the play mode that you're playing on. All Madden, it makes your team play stupid. I don't like it.
Absolutely.
But when you play on Pro and Arcade, it's just a joke. But so like to me, wow, come on y'all, y'all got a block for me. The best mode to me is All Pro, and we losing by 13, man. Run game good. We can't pass to save my life. I done threw 2 interceptions. Madden to be good in 2005.
And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points. So they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
There you go, Dale.
It caused every bit of it, but it's showing confidence. Hey,
so I can throw when I want to.
Go pick it up for him. Didn't happen.
Man, I don't think Madden gonna be around in a couple years. If 2K get the NFL light, I'm gonna tell you, the only thing that's gonna ruin the NFL game, if 2K gets it, is that virtual currency. I cannot stand it. If you look at NBA 2K right now, the virtual currency is even worse than what it was before. Because now you gotta pay for tattoos and haircuts and all that. I'm getting NBA Live. I'm not getting 2K. NBA Live look better anyway. NBA Live look good. There you go. There, the way to grind it. Pro does give you a little challenge, Antonio. I'll agree with you on that. I'll agree with you on that. Pro does give you a challenge, but the best challenge and overall, like, the best type of gameplay that I have seen is on All Madden. I mean, All Pro. Because like I said, All Madden is just stupid, man. All Madden make your players play like real dumb, like, and put you at a disadvantage on purpose just to give you a bigger challenge.
A nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver.
Run.
Get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble. And it's
Can I catch in Madden and Live?
He gets a few yards on 1st and 10,
Can I do? Wait, that don't make sense, Game Changer. What you saying? I already did a Madden giveaway. I gave away 2 copies of Madden to Antonio and ooh, that was bad clock management by me. Antonio and Alexander.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Do I listen to rap, Zay? Not the rap that you hear nowadays, man. I turn on the radio today, which I don't listen to the radio hardly ever. Well, I do listen to it every day. I don't listen to music on the radio. I listen to ESPN radio all the time. But I turned to the black station down here, man. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Come on, why you didn't go get the safety, dude? Hey, that could have been 6. You got both of them for free? Man, you lucky dog, you. I'm thinking about getting NBA Live today. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Does anybody even use total control passing? Your player built like Dak Prescott. I mean, I ain't pay attention to how Dak was built. I just, you know, I'm finna lower my shoulder pads after this game because they too high. I got number 4 because I used to wear number 4 when I was in high school. I wore number 4 and 5 throughout high school. When I was a freshman, I wore number 4. They didn't have number 5, so I picked number 4 because I've worn number 4 before in school. It was free codes from where, though? I know it was a code if you got it for free. I mean, a lot of times they give away codes for free, but where you get it from? No, I hadn't got it yet because I've been seriously debating whether to get 2K or Live. So that's why I hadn't got it yet. But after seeing 2K with the virtual currency and all that, I was like, yeah. And then I went and played the live demo again. And they said the final game is a lot better than the demo, but the graphics just blew me away. I love the graphics. I love the graphics. Streams? Man, well, you lucky, dude. And then, too, Antonio, I've been playing Destiny 2, like. This is probably my 3rd time playing Madden since September 6th when Destiny 2 came out. Come on, man, you hit the wrong hole, dude. Yeah, I've been playing Destiny 2 all this time. That game is off the chain. It's so much better than part 1. Y'all better, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. If all y'all play sports games, y'all might want to step y'all game up. Y'all missing out on a lot of good games. Live gameplay is A1, 2K has Park, which is better. But that's all that 2K has. I seriously feel like people that are saying 2K is better than NBA Live are just 2K fanboys because me, I'm being non-biased because y'all can tell me I'm non-biased because I'm not a huge basketball fan. Yeah, I forgot to. I had it pre-ordered, Antonio, but I canceled it for Destiny so I could pick up Destiny. Yeah, so I got to cough up that extra $20. Zay, I don't know, Zay. That's a tough question. It's only week 3, and these teams looking horrible out there. I tell you what, if the Broncos keep playing like they playing defensively, they definitely will be in the mix. My park is better than 1. Yeah, well. Like I said, 2K lost me with the microtransactions. They didn't really. The graphics don't look as good. The animations aren't as smooth. Live just looked better to me, man. Live just looks better. Dang, come on, y'all got a block. Yeah, so I appreciate that honesty. Mr. Allen, I appreciate that honesty, man. That's what's up, man. By week 8, I don't know. I think if you're going for a team to win the Super Bowl, you got to put in your picks before week 8. You know what I'm saying? What's up with the college football game, man? You talking about on the video game or real life? Roster editing and cheerleaders, yeah, they do. That's another thing I don't like about NBA Live. Now, if y'all saw my tweet today to Rex said that if we want to know the future of Madden's connected franchise mode, pay attention to NBA Live. And if you look at NBA Live's franchise mode, that joker, it ain't nothing there. You see what I'm saying? So I tweeted him and I asked him, was he referring to the 1? You know, if he was, then okay, we got something to look forward to. But if he's talking about just regular franchise mode, it ain't nothing there. I'm not saying because Denver whooped y'all. Denver's defense looked really good. And their defense has been steadily good, especially in a league where these offenses are struggling now. This year it seems like. The video game, Bobby, I don't know, man. I've been trying to petition EA to put this game out, man. I guess EA trying to do, they want to do a college football game with real life rosters, and it's like, we don't need that. We don't need real life rosters in the college football game. If it was an NFL game, yeah, we would have. I want the real, but a college football game, because all people gonna do is go through, edit their rosters, and put the real life people on there and put it up for download, and people gonna download it. The same way they doing right now.
Just better defense. I think you're right.
What they ever do against the Chargers though? I'm just telling you about their defense, man. I said if their defense can play like they did against the Cowboys, they'll be good. They'll be a playoff contender. Denver is in the picture. I think Pittsburgh is in the picture. 49ers, they done lost 2 straight, but they done lost 2 very close games. I don't think people sleeping on the 49ers. I think they sleeping on them. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with NBA Live. I mean, it's good. It looks good. Don't get me wrong, it looked good, and I'm like I said, I'm gonna get NBA Live over 2K. I'm not getting 2K. I'm getting NBA Live. Number one, because it's a different basketball game. We've been playing NBA Live since 2011 or before, you know, because we've been playing 2K. Live 19 on Frostbite. I don't know, man. And you know what's crazy? Live don't even need the Frostbite though. I appreciate that. Only thing I would say that Live would benefit off of for putting it on the Frostbite is being able to put more stuff in the game. Houston Rockets OP. No, they not. Look who they got.
That was not a bad scramble there on
they got Harden and Pop, man. How do y'all?
He was able to take off, and now he made it a very
Yo, Renee, I'm back on Madden for right now, man. I told him I'm streaming right now because we probably going to some football games this evening. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to see Live on Frostbite. Live, like graphic-wise, Live looks very, very good. Live looks very good graphically. Only thing they would benefit off the Frostbite is simply making the, like I said, being able to put more in the game. 2K really don't have much more, Bobby. 2K, oh well, they do. When it comes to like the franchise mode and stuff, yeah, 2K got more. 2K got more. They do. You're right. But as far as like customization, as far as customizing your player, man. The green releases, but that's the thing, Game Changer. What level my question to you, Game Changer, is what difficulty are you playing on and who you playing against? Because if you playing against a good person or a good team, or you playing on a good enough difficulty, it ain't gonna be too many green releases. I agree, Renee. That's exactly why I'm not getting 2K. Is because the microtransactions this year are way worse because you even got to pay for haircuts. There you go. With that granny spin move.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I agree. FIFA on point. FIFA is probably one of their best games as far as content and stuff like that. But man, it's like they get lazy with football. Superstar, you top 15 online. I don't believe that, Game Changer. I'm sorry, man. I don't even believe that you. See, now you making comments like that. I'm starting not to even believe that you got 2 copies of. You got a copy of Madden and NBA Live for free. You got me questioning you right now, man.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's messed up, man. I see you, Renee. But yeah, NBA Live got mad customization for the players. It's awesome. Yeah, 2K is money hungry. 2K very money hungry. You can't tell without the microtransactions, but y'all ain't hear me though. No, that's what the fans want. That's why I say, man, I don't really want 2K to make no football game. I would be happy for them too, because maybe it'll cause EA to step their game up. But when you look at the aspect of virtual currency, man, I don't want no 2K game. What playbook am I using? It's just the Giants playbook. I didn't change the playbook.
They'll drop to throw.
Get in there.
And this is going to be incomplete.
All right, man. All right. One thing I'm saying, game changers, with that comment you made, it made me question your authenticity.
The windows are so tight. He's somewhat forced it in there because he'd be tipped up and picked off.
Nah, I'm messing with you.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Ah, man, I tried to thread it in there, man. That pressure.
The Giants go on fourth, but come up empty. And the Lions
Sony can make another football game, maybe not.
with a 2-minute warning coming up.
I'm gonna tell you, EA did great with college football. That game 14 was perfect, man. There was nothing I didn't like about it.
Their defense just gave up the touchdown. Now it's their opportunity. 1st and 10. And now out come the Giants.
Switch it to the
drive going
Rams playbook.
They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy.
Oh, man, I just tried to get it to him, man. We already losing.
It's the 2014
And then he missed the tackle.
interception leader, Glover Quinn.
Scramble more, game changer. Scrambling, this Madden, dude. It's on. You can't scramble like that on here.
Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down.
Yeah, I agree completely. That's exactly what I was saying. Like, I want 2K. The reason I want 2K to come out with a football game is not so I can buy it. It's so EA can, somebody can put it to EA to make them step that game up. Because, like I said, with 2K, that virtual currency stuff, man, that stuff for the birds. That stuff is for the birds. I don't like that. What's up, Kyle? But yeah, scramble more. It's on All Pro, man. You can't scramble like that, man. They made, and plus they I don't know, when the game first came out, you could scramble with the quarterbacks. Now it's like they take a while to build up speed and all that. And my player, like I told you, my player 99 on everything.
See how you can improve your team.
But it's ever since Mike Vick broke Madden, what was it, 2008? No, it wasn't 2008. God, it was what, 04,
now
05?
Let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
When Michael Vick broke the game, ever since then, they seriously buff quarterbacks, which is insane. But then, too, you got to think about the NFL is a lot faster than it was back then, too. What's my record online? I don't know. I don't play online. You ought to know that already. NCAA football is the best football game ever. Yes, I agree. I would even be happy, Renee, if they made NCAA backwards compatible, like you said, or even put, just remade the game and upgraded the graphics to what we see on Madden right now. Because that college football on here looks real good. Looks real. It was 2004. Okay, I knew it was the one after Marshall Faulk was on the cover. And I think he was on 03. So, yeah, that's 04. Antonio, you never played NCAA 14? I played online a little bit last year, but that was just for the streams. I hate playing online. Vic was broken. Nah, Vic wasn't broke. Vic was not broke. This is what people have to understand, because it amazes me when people say stuff like that. Like, oh, he was OP or whatever the case may be. Look at what he did in real life. You see what I'm saying? He was literally they literally called him a video game character in real life. You know what I'm saying?
On the scoreboard, 0-0 as the offense gets ready to
Renee, I did the same thing. I went and got me an Xbox 360 just to play NCAA 14. I'm telling you. Oh, I know you talking about in the game. You said he was broke. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't broke in the game. He played like he played in real life. He played like he played. Okay, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see this on the screen, on y'all screen, but
now problems right out of the gate.
How we got to delay a game? Oh man. But R.I.P. Vic's career. What you talking about? Vic had an awesome career. That dude. Think about this. Vic went to jail for 2 years, got out, and still had a 4,000-yard passing season. His career is not tarnished at all.
Nothing on the scoreboard.
See, this is, I don't know if y'all can see it on here because I'm pretty sure it's not displaying in HDR, but it looks dark. It don't look like a sunny day. Like, I kind of want to turn HDR off on the game because of how it looks right here. It's like they didn't do it right. It's like it's like I can't explain it. Look at it though. Look at that. That it don't look right. It looks too shady. It's too dark. And now my TV settings don't need to be adjusted. They are the same. It just, I know it's HDR, but if it looks too dark. It's too dark, man. It's too dark. Let me see right quick. Let me see. I know y'all can't see nothing, but I'm finna to change. I'm finna turn HDR off. That's what I'm finna do. I'm finna turn HDR off. Okay. And hopefully it don't end my stream. All right, y'all see the difference? Look at that. That looks like a sunny day. That looks like it's supposed to look. I don't know if y'all seeing it like that on here, but man. Yeah. No, it ain't the weather. Oh, you think the weather is too cinematic. But look at the difference on that, man. That looks like it's sunny outside. It's a little bit too bright. Yeah, I don't know what Madden did with their HDR, but they messed it up, man. Y'all just can't do stuff right. Good gosh. You can't make a good game, and you mess up. How do you mess up HDR, man? How? Look at this. Look how good that looks in the sunlight. It looks like it's sunny outside. But with HDR on, it doesn't look that way. The game actually looks better without HDR in the sun. Now, when you're in a dome stadium or something, it looks really good. It looks really good.
The next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business.
Vic don't have the stats to get in the Hall of Fame. Plus, I say you're wrong with that, Renee. I think that Vic gets into the Hall of Fame because he bounced back from something negative. Not only that, but he literally changed the NFL. Not only the NFL, Michael Vick changed the NFL. He changed college and high school football. Because after Vic got on the scene, you seen so many more players playing with fast quarterbacks. I think for that reason alone, he gets into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, man, he ain't lazy. I don't know, man. I think that he does get into the Hall of Fame because it ain't all about stats. If it was all about stats, Terrell Owens would be in the Hall of Fame. No! Why did you just not stay upfield? See, it's a fine line. Like, look at that. Look at this. I mean, graphic wise, it looks good. It looks good, but it's like it's missing something, man. Randall Cunningham changed the NFL, not the way that Vic did. Randall Cunningham did change the league, but Michael Vick changed it in ways that Randall Cunningham never could have. Now, I understand what you said, because Randall Cunningham, he did, but he did not change the league the way that Michael Vick changed the league. Because Randall Cunningham was not near as explosive. Vick was one of the most explosive. He was the most explosive quarterback to ever play the position in the NFL. I mean, literally, when you look at college players doing stuff in video games and stuff like that, and he was doing that in real life, nah, man. I say Mike Vick changed. Randall Cunningham may have changed the NFL, but Michael Vick changed all of football. NFL, college, and high school. Because of what I tell you, after Vick played, you had so many dual threat quarterbacks that started coming out, you know. Vick changed it to me. Yeah, but that's the thing, Renee. T.O. never bounced back from those issues. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Trudell? You see what I'm saying? T.O. had some issues, yeah, but he never bounced back from them. Michael Vick, he paid his dues. He came out, and he been on the straight and narrow ever since. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I agree, Zay. Randall Cunningham may have changed it, but Michael Vick took it to a whole nother level. He took it to a completely different level. That's why we still talking about him right now. You see what I'm saying? That's just like Joe Montana. To me, revolutionized the quarterback position, but Tom Brady took it to another level. Who changed the running game though? I'm gonna tell you, the running game that fell off.
Sets up a 1st and goal. Big completion there on 3rd and short keeps their opening drive alive.
Running game that fell off.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you
yes,
I'm a big advocate if you're going to
Vic
throw the ball,
changed all of. Vic had a ripple effect throughout the entire. Oh no! Vic had a ripple effect throughout all of football. Vic is a polished Cunningham. I'm not gonna say that. I think Cunningham was a better overall passer than Michael Vick was. I think Vick relied a lot on his just sheer athletic ability until he got out of prison, and that's when he started to actually sit in the pocket and throw, and that's when he's got, 4,000-yard passing seasons and stuff. Man, I ran right into that. Darren Sproles? No. Darren Sproles didn't change the running back position. Heck no. Jim Brown, them, the old schools changed the running back position. Barry Sanders.
And ended up on the ground.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
I'm just saying. But then, too, you got to think about this with the NFL. It's gone to the offense. I mean, the NFL now is real offense heavy. It's real offense heavy. Yeah, I don't. Sproles to me I wouldn't even put Darren Sproles in the list of my greatest running backs. He doesn't make the list of like my top 10 even. I wouldn't look at him as a game changer in the NFL.
Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago, and it's the Bears who are off to the early lead.
Walter Payton or Terrell Davis? I'm not even gonna say Terrell. You got to go back to Jim Brown and I mean, the running back position really been, I don't know. That's a tough one.
But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because
that's a tough one.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
But that's what I'm saying, game changer. When I see an offense that looks good nowadays, I'm not surprised because the NFL is set up for offenses to be successful. As a defensive back, first of all, DBs can't play as physical as they used to. The defenses can't hit the same as they used to. So, of course, offense is going to do more. Sweetness, Walter Payton. But, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Jim Brown, you had Walter Payton, Larry Allen. I mean, not Larry Allen. Lord, Larry Allen played on the offensive line. Dang, who am I thinking of? Ray? What's his name? I can't even remember his name, y'all. My mind went straight blank. They all run looking. I mean, because a lot of teams can't pass now. Because these quarterbacks, they ain't getting it done. Who's the best quarterback ever? Man, that's a tough one. I mean, I know the easy bet is for people to say prime time, but man, that's a tough, because here's my thing about cornerback. You have different types of cornerbacks. You got coverage cornerbacks, you got run stopping cornerbacks, and then you got like a hybrid that's a little bit of both, man. I mean, if you're talking coverage-wise, you got to go with Deion Sanders because teams literally would not throw to his side of the field. And Deion played in a time where they had some elite receivers. He guarded some Hall of Fame cats. You know what I'm saying? Michael Irvin, Jerry Rice, he guarded some of the best receivers in NFL history. You see what I'm saying? So as far as coverage corners go, I would have to go with Deion Sanders. But if you're looking for a more, I say, overall balanced cornerback, I would have to say, and this might be surprising to some, Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson to me was one of the most balanced cornerbacks to ever play the game because he could cover and he could come up on run support. Everybody know Primetime didn't like tackling. He didn't like to hit. So I couldn't put him in that situation. One of the greatest cornerbacks in this generation now would have to be Pat Pete, man, because he can cover and he can come up and lay the hit if he wants to. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, Game Changer, you got me started, man. You got me started. You know I like to talk football, man. People be sleeping on that football. People be sleeping on it. You know I love to talk, especially the quarterback position. Yeah, man. See, that's what I said. People want to jump in. Oh, primetime was the best. That's because that's all you know is primetime. That's because all you hear when people talk about cornerbacks is primetime. What about Nnamdi Asomugha when he played with the Raiders, not with the Eagles? When Nnamdi Asomugha played with the Raiders, that boy was locked down. You didn't hear about him because they didn't throw to his side. If Bo didn't get hurt, he'd be the greatest running back. I think if Barry Sanders hadn't retired, he would have been the greatest. And for this reason, for this reason alone. Number one, he retired early. He had some gas left in that tank. Number two, Barry Sanders had a horrible offensive line. A lot of what Barry Sanders did, he did on his own merit. Now I'm not saying he didn't have some protection going on. He had a decent offensive line, but I think to the extent of some of these other players, I think that that Barry Sanders would have been the greatest running back in the history of the NFL had he not retired as early as he did, because his offensive line was horrendous. Bo Jackson had a decent offensive line. Walter Payton with the Bears, he had a good offensive line. Some of these teams had good offensive linemen. You look at Emmitt Smith with the Cowboys. Look how long it took him to break Walter Payton's record. And here's my thing with records. This is what I would say with the record. If you can't break it in the same amount of time it was set, it shouldn't be a record. Because look how long Emmitt Smith played. You see what I'm saying? It took him longer to break that record. All backs run the same when they know where to run, except for Barry Sanders. When Barry Sanders didn't have nowhere to go, it's like he made somewhere to go, and he wasn't a power back. He wasn't a power back. He wasn't just trucking people. He was just elusive and slippery. All right, game changer. All right. Yeah, Barry Sanders, he was the truth.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the
O.J. Simpson, no. O.J. Simpson was not the greatest of all time. I'm sorry. I can't agree with you on that. Bo Jackson, I don't know, man. Only reason, like I said, only reason I'm saying Barry Sanders is because Bo Jackson had a good offensive line. I'm not saying he would have did bad if he didn't, but yeah.
The best defensive lineman.
Yeah, he accumulated. But you got to think about Barry Sanders. If you add his negative yards that he ran backwards and all this kind of stuff, I mean, still, with all those negative yards and still sitting where he sat, like, that's astounding. That's nothing short of amazing to have that many yards and still have all those negative yards. Just let that sink in,
Now following the touchdown, here comes this offense back out onto the field as they will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They'll start out with a run by Vereen. 3 yards on the pickup there.
But yeah, I don't know. When it comes to running backs, it's really, really tough. It's really tough. Because it's different than like a cornerback. Because like when you're looking at cornerbacks are by themselves. They by themselves. It's one-on-one. You know what I'm saying?
Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
It's one-on-one with the cornerbacks. But with a running back, you don't know if it's the offensive line or if it's the running back,
Keeps the drive moving.
And then, too, some of these guys just got on a bad team.
Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
I disagree with that, Trudell. I disagree with that because you look at a guy like Primetime who played multiple sports and was dominant. You see what I'm saying? Bo was a freakish athlete. Now, if you're talking about the most athletic guy who's ever graced the football field, you got to mention Bo.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking.
Yeah, I agree. It's tough with running backs. That's what I was saying. It's tough with running backs because you need a lot to go right. You need an offensive line to some degree. Especially nowadays. I mean, I think we got to take that into consideration too, is the time frame, because You got some guys that's, you know, like nowadays, players are a lot stronger, a lot faster. So you look and say, with a guy like Bo Jackson, why was he so good? Because Bo Jackson was before his time. You know what I'm saying? Barry Sanders was before his time. You take those same running backs and you put them in today's NFL, I don't think they're as good as they are because everybody else is just as fast and just as explosive. That's what set them apart from everybody, was the fact that they were faster and stronger than everybody. I think if you put a guy like Bo Jackson, Walter Payton, Barry Sanders into today's NFL, then you might get you might get the production level that you see out of Adrian Peterson in his prime when he played for the Vikings. You're going to have some good running backs, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're as great as they were in their time, but that's what made them great, that they were before their time in a sense. You see what I'm saying? Same thing for wide receivers. You know, like I think wide receivers back then that was a nice pick. That was a nice pick. I don't know how he jumped the mess out of that. I didn't know linebackers could jump that good. Look at Brandon Marshall with his slow self. Man. Dog. But anyway, like, I think receivers back then are way better than receivers are now. Way better. Way miles better. And the reason why I feel that way is because, like I said, when you look back then, the defenses were a lot tougher. Guys could get away with a lot, except Moss. No. Well, Moss played a little bit in both eras. Except Moss, so I agree with you on that. Moss played a little bit in both eras. You look back when Moss first started, when Michael Irvin and all them was around, the defensive secondary could be so much more physical with the wide receivers. So for a guy to come in and get the yardage, look, why you don't go to the ball? Why did he sit there and just wait for the ball, man? Gosh, these receivers are stupid. Like, it was harder for receivers to be great back then because the defense could be so much more physical. Whereas now, the defense, they're not as physical. They're not allowed to be as much as that physical. So you see a guy like Odell, I'm going to be honest with you. If Odell played back when primetime, Charles Woodson, Champ Bailey, we wouldn't be talking about Odell Beckham. We wouldn't be talking about him. It's easy to make them circus catches when the DBs can't even put their hands on you past 5 yards, when they can't hit you in the mouth for running across the middle and stuff like that. So as far as wide receiver position go, I would say back then, wide receivers are better back then than they are now. If Michael Irvin played in today's NFL, Michael Irvin would dominate. A guy like Michael Irvin, a guy like Jerry Rice, a guy like really Terrell Owens too. Terrell Owens. Why? Because the secondary is soft, but they do that so they can put butts in seats. Defense may win championships, but offense sell tickets. You dig what I'm saying? Defense win championships, but offense sell tickets. And offense put butts in seats, man. Unless you're a true fan of football, you know.
Make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pick.
Copyright that. I need to. Somebody put a patent on that.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute.
But that's the truth, man. So, you know, people debating all of this and that. And it's the same way with the NBA. Like, people, like, we done talked about this. Y'all know. People debating, is LeBron better than Michael Jordan? The game is not the same. The game is not the same. Once again, let me say that again, especially for y'all youngsters who didn't have the honor of watching a guy like Michael Jordan play, a guy like Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Shaquille O'Neal in his prime. Y'all didn't get the privilege of watching these guys play. The NBA was just like the NFL. It was a very, very physical game. So a guy like LeBron James, LeBron sat out a game because he was tired. Yes, Trudell. Yes. Yes. Michael Jordan, see, look at you. Look at you. Now, listen, man. The NBA is just like the NFL. The NBA is not as physical. Listen what Charles Barkley said. Charles Barkley was even ticked off because these players taking games off. He said, you getting paid millions of dollars. How you can't play a back-to-back game? He said they used to play 3 games back-to-back. And they did, man. These guys these days are soft. With a capital S-O. The NBA, just like the NFL, these players are soft nowadays. They can't take as much.
through the contact.
Like I said, you put LeBron James in the NBA back then with Karl Malone and all them, we're not talking about LeBron James. We're not. I truly believe that. If we're talking about him, it's not as much.
Just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And the Eagles take possession. And out now come the Eagles.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's all about player safety, so they say. So they say. I mean, you got a guy like Kobe Bryant that played so many years in the league. I don't think it's about player safety, man. It's just we live in a generation, we live in a society now where people just can't handle as much. Because you got to think, look at a guy like let's look at a guy like let me tell you, Jerry Rice. I've read Jerry Rice's autobiography. Jerry Rice actually went to the same high school and college as my dad did in Mississippi. My dad played on the same high school team with Jerry Rice. I read his autobiography. I read Walter Payton's autobiography. What's different, I read Herschel Walker's book. What's different from players then than players now is even growing up, there was a lot more physical labor. Now, what players have now that players back then had a little bit different is that
that's what forced the incompletion.
James, I disagree with that, Tim. But anyway, players now go through a lot more mental and emotional things. Like Jerry Rice used to catch bricks. He used to catch bricks, not because he didn't have a football. He caught bricks. Herschel Walker used to do 1,000 push-ups a day. Walter Payton ran hills and in the sand and boots and things like that. I'm just saying, man. Happy early birthday then, Kyle. I'm just saying, players went through a lot more physical things. Outside of school, guess what? They was working in the fields. They was doing stuff. I'm telling you this because my dad lived in Mississippi, played on the same team as Jerry Rice, all of that stuff. In Mississippi, it was tough living. Those guys did a lot of physical labor, so they were able to take a lot of punishment. Kids nowadays are hampered. They sit around, play video games, watch YouTube, like we're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I'm saying. Players nowadays are hampered. They in their general regular life, the majority of kids don't do that much physical labor as they used to back then, and that's why you see a lot more injuries. That's why you see a lot more of what I call softness, not to say in a disrespectful manner because it ain't nothing that they can help, but I see a lot more softness in players nowadays than you see back in the day. Like I was listening to Mike, and he was even talking about, when he was younger playing the league, guys would play with broken arms, legs, fingers. A guy had a contusion. If you know what a contusion is, it's when the bone breaks through the skin. He put it back in, wrapped it up, and finished the game. Guys now, they sprain their ankle and they out the game, So players back then were a lot tougher. And that's why I think a lot of the rules have changed. It's just players just aren't as tough as they used to be. But I will truly say, you put LeBron James in the NBA back when Karl Malone and all them played, and it's not the same story. I'm not saying that he wouldn't be good, but we wouldn't be sitting here talking about him being the greatest of all time.
They were having absolutely none.
Not to mention this, though. Not to mention this, though. And it's the same way with the cornerback situation that I'm telling y'all about. Okay?
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there.
These guys, they have two completely different playing styles. Okay? First of all, Michael Jordan wasn't as big and as strong as LeBron James. I think I would like him to be a little bit quicker. A little bit smaller and quicker than LeBron. Oh, man, that sucks. It bounced off the upright. I don't think he'll catch him in rings either. But and here's the thing, too. I'm not glorifying Michael Jordan because let's be real. Mike played all his time with one team, but Mike had a heck of a supporting cast. He had some heck of some players around him. You know what I'm saying? But he played with the flu. He didn't care. He's just a tougher player. It's just a different time, like I said, and then, like I said, two different playing styles. They had two different playing styles. Mike, they not the same type of player. Michael Jordan cannot play LeBron's type of game. LeBron can't play Michael Jordan's type of game. Trudell, who you talking about? 6'6", 235.
Too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam. And when you hit it,
who you talking about, Trudell?
So after
because 6'6", 235 ain't that big. 235 sound like a lot of weight, but when you 6'6", that ain't that big.
And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time.
Dad died right before the game. Yeah.
They don't want that to happen again.
Jordan went through a lot, man.
They would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of
MJ. Yeah, 6'6", 235 ain't big. That ain't big. He tall. That ain't big. Because you got to think the higher you go, the slimmer you get. That's why you got guys 7 foot, 300-something pounds that don't look big as nothing. But I digress. Like I said, they don't play the same style of game. And that's the same way. So anytime, you know, we comparing players and stuff like that, what I think of the Warriors, the Warriors are interesting because, you know, people say, oh, you know, KD went to the Warriors to win a championship and stuff like that. But KD went to the Warriors and was a standout player on that team. Yeah. Oh, you 6'6", 230, 6'3", 225. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna play my DB career. I'm gonna play it. I'll probably play it after this game.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage.
But the Warriors, could they have won? Could they have beat Cleveland without Kevin Durant? I think they could have, because they have before. You know, they didn't win all the games, but they still, you know, I think they can. So, I don't even know, you know, them getting Kevin Durant just made them that much better. It took some of the heat off Steph Curry and them, you know.
They are firmly in control right now.
MJ couldn't do that. How do we know that, though, Tim? You can't say that MJ couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? MJ played teams a lot tougher than what Golden State is right now. The Utah Jazz, the Hawks, the Pistons, man, the Trailblazers, the talent level in the NBA back then was way tougher too.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
That's the thing too. Yeah, I agree with you. That's the thing. MJ was never down 3-1. So I mean, hey, you can say, you can, on the flip side of that coin, you can say exactly what was just said, Tim. MJ never been down 3-1. So he could be, their team was that good. They never was down 3-1. It never came to that.
Final stoppage here as we step aside. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
What teams was good back then? I just told you, Tim. Don't be trolling, man. Do your research, man. How can you ask that question? There was a lot of teams good back then. Where look at the NBA right now. If I ask you who the best teams, the first two teams you're going to say is Cleveland and Golden State. Back when Michael Jordan played, you ask that question, you're going to have about 5 or 6 different teams. The majority of the NBA was good back then. You had the Lakers. You had Utah. You had Chicago. You had Detroit. That's already 4. Portland was good. Man, I mean, the Seattle. Minnesota was good with Garnett. The Jazz. What? I'm not talking about right now, Tim. I'm talking about back when MJ played. You were lying saying the Jazz was trash. They made it in the finals how many times?
As you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, pass the sticks, first down.
Jazz are trash. The Blazers, what the heck? The Suns mediocre. Tim, I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about back when Michael Jordan played. Maybe you need to go do your research, bro, Ham.
On fourth down, here's the Giants' first.
The Knicks. Yep, I forgot about the Knicks.
For the field goal attempt. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt.
Shoot, there was a lot of good teams back then. I don't know what you're talking about. Way more than it is now. Like I said, you ask people who good now, you go Golden State. Yeah, who the two most played teams on the NBA? 2K in live. Golden State, Cleveland.
close when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Oh, Tim, if you're talking about back in the day, then you got some problems because them teams was good back in the day. Utah was good with Karl Malone. The Trailblazers wasn't trash, and the Suns wasn't either. With Charles Barkley now, the Pistons, with Grant Hill. Man, you crazy, man. Don't get me started today, man.
They've gone final now in Charlotte.
Tim, you don't know what you're talking about, dog. I think you just be saying stuff for attention sometimes, man. I gotta disagree with you on that, man. All them teams was good back then. It ain't like now where you got a coin now. You can flip a coin because it's either gonna be Cleveland on one side or Golden State on the other. So back then you didn't have a coin. You had a Rubik's Cube to find out who was gonna make it to the finals because it was so many good teams. It was so many good teams. Even with Michael Jordan and the Bulls, they wasn't a guaranteed to make it to the finals. There was other teams in the running. They may have been the heavy favorite, but it wasn't like it is now with just two teams. Golden State, even going into this season right now, you would be foolish to count Golden State and Cleveland out of the NBA Finals. You would be an idiot not to. Why? Because they have the two best teams in the NBA. Back when MJ was playing, that wasn't the case. You didn't know who was going to be in the finals. Yeah, you had Chicago as a heavy favorite. But the other team, man, the Rockets, yes. All them teams was good back then. I think probably, you know, man, the Nets now could beat the Jazz team. Get out of here, Tim. I'm finna kick you out the chat, man. You tripping. You tripping for real. You tripping for real. If the Nets could beat the Jazz back then, that means the Nets could beat the Bulls back then. So you saying that the Nets could beat the Bulls? Nah, dude. Nah. The Nets couldn't beat Michael Jordan's Bulls. But the Jazz did. The Jazz did. Don't get me started, man. Look, did we win the game? I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, Tim got beat, boy.
See how you can improve your team.
I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm reading. I gotta take a breather after that, Tim. You gonna get me worked up. That's what you're trying to do. You doing that on purpose. Cause you like to hear me talk. You like to hear me spit them facts out. That's what you're doing. I know that's what you're doing. I'm gonna switch to this DB career, man. Let me see if I even remember which one it is. Oh, it's a lot of them. I think it ain't the 30th. It might be. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. Yeah. Yeah.
Before we go any further,
is that it?
To install your game plan for
nope, that ain't it.
Matchup.
Six. Let me see. He got to be eating something, man. Yeah, man. People don't know what competition is. Pizza sound good, man. Nah, I think Tim older than 15. Tim older than 15. If he was 15, he'd be in school right now. He better not be on here. But Tim just be y'all. I'm telling you what Tim just like hearing me go at it. That's why Tim do that to me because he know.
Improve your team.
Good God, what is this? Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep loading the wrong one. I can't pay attention because I'm sitting up here looking at the chat. Cause Tim, boy, you better stop. You better stop that. There we go. I wish I was 15. Man, me too, boy. If I can go back, man.
Make sure you're
okay, let me ask y'all this because this is something very interesting because you're looking at now where, like, say basketball. It's either Cleveland or Golden State. We already know that, you know. When you look at the NFL, New England Patriots. When you look at college football, Alabama. Does that turn you away from watching sports as much when you pretty much know the teams that are going to be in the championship games and stuff like that? Yeah, Tim, I don't agree with you that the Celtics have a good team. They have a good team, but still, even with Kyrie on the Celtics, Golden State and Cleveland still the heavy favorites. If Derrick Rose can stay healthy, and if Isaiah Thomas can be healthy and play, yeah, and Golden State coming back reloaded, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. But like I said, does that make the games, not as fun, not as fun to watch? Because I think about that. I would love for the see college football. I was so happy when Clemson won the national championship just because I get so tired of seeing the SEC team win the national championship,
A look at the man who's played cornerback could factor into the outcome of this.
So Derrick Rose can get some jewelry. I want Derrick Rose to stay healthy, man. He's one of those players that I wish could have stayed healthier in their career,
All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field.
John, I don't doubt that, but I don't doubt that anybody can make a playoff run, but I'm saying whenever you're picking favorites, you see what I'm saying? When we're picking favorites for these teams, it's like, why is it that it's the same teams every year? You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm finna turn this HDR back on, y'all. I'm finna turn this HDR back on. Because it looks good without HDR on Madden. It really does. It kind of looks better without HDR. See, when you're in a dome stadium, HDR looks really good. But when you're in the sun, it don't look as good. Yeah, I agree now. With the playoffs in college football, yeah, but even with the playoffs, Alabama is always picked to be a heavy favorite because of their success,
On first and 10, Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin.
Come on, you got to break down quicker than that, homeboy.
Get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Charles, what's the mindset here?
Enigma. It looks better in the dome stadium. When you in the sun, like the last game I played, it looks better without HDR because when you play HDR outside in the sun, it looks just like this, and it makes it look like it's like cloudy outside or something. He didn't get off the line that time, did he? Yeah, Enigma, but it looks, like I said, HDR looks great when you're playing indoors. But when you're playing outside, it looks just like this. And so it makes it look like, even though it's clear and sunny, it makes it look overcast, so you don't get the same shadows and things like that. I don't know what EA did, man. I don't know how you mess up HDR, but oh yeah.
On second down, here's Stafford. And that one got
there we go.
Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
But yeah, so and I don't know. I just wonder if that makes games a little less entertaining whenever you have teams that's like that,
It almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath, wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Because let's be real, Alabama could not have the same. Alabama could have a weak strength of schedule, and if they ran the table, they would be automatic shoo-ins for the national championship because it's Alabama. You see what I'm saying? Because of what they've done in the past. Because they've proven that they can beat the best teams. But then just because they beat, the SEC, it's the SEC. The SEC is not as a powerful conference as they used to be. So Alabama runs the table this year. Does it mean that they're the best team in the country? I would have to say no, because like I said, the SEC is not the best conference in football anymore. They lost a lot of their head coaches, and they're just not the same team. Where's my safeties at, man? Y'all see, man? I don't even know. I'm not sick of Alabama because they ball out, man. They have the best coach that's ever coached college football. They recruit very well, and I have to applaud them. The reason why is because, like y'all know, I've played college football. I understand about recruiting and things like that. It is not easy reloading year after year after year. You know what I'm saying? Getting guys to buy into your system, into your program. So yeah, people might not like Alabama, but you cannot knock the work that's been put into that program. Ooh, y'all seen that bounce? Y'all seen that bounce? Yes, sir. How many interceptions? None. They don't throw my way.
I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he
Nah, I don't know. I don't think Alabama is getting warned. I think the reason guys are going to other conferences is because they don't want to compete, because they look at Alabama's depth chart and they say, I'm not going to get no playing time there. And they probably right. They probably right. You look at Najee Harris. He is a true freshman. Alabama should have redshirted Najee Harris because he's not going to see the field that much. All right, Kyle, see you later. But yeah, so that's why you see a lot of guys going away from Alabama. They going to where they can get some playing time and some shine. Now, if you smart, you'll go to Alabama to make it to the NFL. Because by you playing for Alabama, there we go. By you playing for Alabama, if you was a one-year starter for Alabama, you have a better chance of making it to the league coming out of Alabama than, say, Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. Because of who Alabama is. Yeah, they don't throw my way a lot. They do sometimes. That's like the second time this game they have. Ooh wee. He didn't even jam him. I didn't even get a hand on him right there because I was looking at the screen. I do too, Enigma. I actually made a video on that, talking about that. I've also tweeted about that. I also tweeted them about that. Like, for being a shutdown corner, you don't get no experience points for that. All you get is fantasy points. But everybody knows if you look, that star ain't below my player for no reason. Well, probably because I'm 99 overall, but still, that's beside the point. But anyway, yeah, they don't reward you for being a shutdown corner. They don't look at that statistic that, oh, they don't throw to his side. You know what I'm saying? And it's stupid. I don't like that. It's not realistic. Anybody with a football mind knows, you know, hey, if they're not throwing to this guy's side, that means he's doing something right, you know. They don't reward you for that. It's very unrealistic.
Always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
Let's no, I didn't mean to do that. Let's line me up with the best. And then EA say, oh, we added new coach adjustments. That ain't new. Y'all had that in NCAA and y'all had it in previous renditions of Madden. I hate when they talk like it's new. But yeah, you're right. Everybody know if I'm a shutdown corner, I ought to be getting points for that. If I had a guy, I wish the game took into account if I lock my receiver down on his route or not. You know, like right there, you see that? I should get points for that. Because I shut him down on that route. I was in his hip pocket. I wasn't beat. But do you get points for that? Nope. Nope. The team got points because they hit a milestone. Rams to the Super Bowl? I doubt it. I don't see enough out of them. Last night they played, but look who they played against last night. Look, they ain't even jam them.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
In 2009? Nah, it ain't new to you because it's been the same since about 2009. Madden been the same for a long time. Only thing Madden got upgraded was some graphics. And that's sad to say, man, but a lot of people feel that way because it's like football is not huge in Nigeria. Nah.
This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Oh, come on, man. Ooh, get that block, man.
Get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's the same thing I said, Antonio. It's way too early to tell. It's way too early to be talking about Super Bowl because you got some teams that got some pretty bad starts who will more likely turn it around. And then you got some teams that didn't have some not so good starts who will more likely turn it around.
They begin the drive with Hill, and he'll get
will more than likely turn it around.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain.
Everybody talking about Zeke because he only had 9 yards rushing.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot
Man,
out of that one, but I think you
look how he. I just say look how he started out last year.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot.
For coverage sacks, I agree. I agree with that, John. Colts the worst team. I can say, yeah, I would have to agree with you. Everybody, the Browns used to be bad, but I'm telling y'all, the Browns gonna surprise a lot of people this year. They shouldn't have got rid of Joe Hayden, but anyway. But I mean, everybody. Well, Joe wasn't doing good there. Joe he was doing so-so. But the thing people don't realize is this: players get tired. Players get tired. Quarterbacks get tired when they're not giving them offensive linemen and stuff like that. Players get tired of certain situations, so they're not going to perform to their best of their ability because mentally they tired. You know what I'm saying? They already checked out mentally.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he.
But for a guy that's been with your franchise for so long, I would not have traded Joe Hayden. I would have talked to him and said, "Look, what do we need to do? Probably win. Probably win. Look, locked him up."
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders.
Not the Bengals. I think the Bengals is like I said, the Bengals is a team I think will bounce back. I think the Bengals are a team, one of those teams that didn't start the season very well, but they'll bounce back. I'm not saying they'll bounce back and like make the playoffs or something like that, but they're not gonna have a bad season like the Bengals used to have. That's another running back, y'all. Corey Dillon. Play for the Bengals when the Bengals wasn't that hot.
This is taken around the 12. They'll call that a punt of 59.
Andy Dalton and them, they'll get it together. I think they fired their offensive coordinator, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, you know they wasn't going to fire the head coach or let the quarterback go, so we'll see what the new offensive coordinator going to do. Cowboys, I think the Cowboys will bounce back as well. People talking about Dak, 1 year wonder and all that kind of stuff. Nah, man, he played a very good defensive team. That even my boy Cam Newton didn't do well against them. Picking Bengals to win. I mean, like I said, I think the Bengals got a good team. They got the players. They got the talent to win. It's just this one thing that people have to realize, and like I said, this is coming from my football knowledge and experience. The higher up you go, the less it becomes about talent and more it becomes about the X's and O's. Ooh, that boy got popped. Oh, snap. Can I instant replay that? That's another thing I don't like about this. You can't see no instant replays, man.
Even the great ones.
See, I can't see it. That was a huge hit. See, I don't know, man. I don't know if Marvin Lewis should be fired because he turned that Bengals program around. You know, now they've been making playoffs and everything.
And that last possession really got
let me ask you this. Give me a reason why he should be fired. Give me a reason why you feel Marvin Lewis should be fired. Because in my eyes, people don't understand that you can't grab a team and in 3 years, you know, it's the NFL, man. He hasn't won? Yes, he has. Have you not been paying attention to the Bengals? They've been to the playoffs. The Bengals been to the playoffs. What you talking about? They ain't been to the Super Bowl, but they ain't been to the playoffs. When you look at a Cincinnati team that hadn't even made the playoffs in years, ooh, got beat right there. Made up for it with my blazing speed, though. But no playoff wins. Okay, so Jason Garrett should be fired. Right? Cowboys ain't been winning no playoff games. That's the difference. He's taking them to the playoffs, and they have gotten a playoff win. They lost all their playoff games. They still made the playoffs. That's a step in the right direction. That's a step in the right direction. You're looking at a Cincinnati team that didn't even used to go to the playoffs. Now they're a contender, and they conference every year. You are not talking about the Bengals. You know, that's probably why that's why it's such a, look how they playing now. Why? Because they've been playing so good previously. So I don't say fire them, not yet anyway. But like I said, one thing that people don't realize, especially just straight fans of football as opposed to people that actually play the game, the higher up you go, like I said, the less it becomes about talent and the more it comes about the X and O's. So when you get to the NFL level, everybody's talented. It's about the coaching. If a team not winning, it ain't about the players, it's about the coaches. And I know first thing people gonna say is, oh, well, the players can't be good or bad. No, man. No, it's the coaching, man. Because, and then it's the GMs who draft these players. You see what I'm saying? Trent Richardson, perfect example. I'll use Trent. You see these players who are so good in college, they get to the NFL and they some bust. Brady Quinn. Brady Quinn was a good quarterback, man. Where did he go? Cleveland. Bust! Johnny Manziel, same thing. If Johnny Manziel had started his career at a different team, he might still be in the league right now. Look, that boy laying the hat. Y'all better come with it playing with me.
Put down to the ground hard at the 49.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, these players getting into the league, the Browns drafting these quarterbacks like Deshaun Kaiser. Is he going to be a good quarterback? I don't know. He could be a lot better quarterback if they had an offensive line. People don't understand, you know, it's about the X's and O's, and then when you putting these players on teams that ain't good for them. For instance, if I'm a receiver, if I'm an outstanding receiver, I got good hands and stuff like that, and I'm catching, I don't want to go to a team that's not going to pass the ball. But you have kids doing that out of high school. You have kids doing that, you know, in college, going to NFL teams that don't suit their playing style, and they don't play as good. Yeah, Johnny was immature, but they also didn't win either in Cleveland. RG3, same thing. We seen what RG3 was capable of. His career died when he went to Cleveland. He should have never gone to Cleveland. They even say Cleveland is a place where people go for their careers to die.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch.
See, but Jamarcus Russell was one thing. Jamarcus Russell is one thing, because Jamarcus Russell, he had an arm, but one thing people don't see also is you might see a quarterback that's electrifying in college. That don't mean they can read plays. In the NFL, they don't try to simplify stuff for you. You know, it's either you get it or they get somebody in there who will get it. You know what I'm saying? But in college, they simplify a lot of these offenses for these players. They did that for Cam Newton. Some teams will take the time to do that for their players, and it worked out for them. It worked out for them. They made it to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Without Calvin Benjamin. But, like I said, it's just one of them things people got to pay attention to. That's why I don't like when people say, oh, this dude right here sorry, or this dude ain't good, or this dude suck. It ain't a sorry player in the NFL. It's not. There is not a single player, because you got to think, of the millions of high school players, thousands make it to college. Of the 1,000 players that make it to a college team, hundreds make it to the NFL. So I think the percentage is less than 10%. It's like 3% of high school players make it to the NFL. That is an extremely low percentage. And it has a lot to do with skill, talent, but a lot of other things, because it's not all about talent. Oh, I was finna hit stick that boy. Injury? No, John. I disagree with that. RG3 did get hurt, but look how they played him in Washington. They played him like that. But then also too, RG3 shouldn't. If RG3 hadn't went to the Browns, I think he would still be in the league. We'd still be watching him on Sundays right now. He's smart. He could read defenses. He could play the quarterback position. Name me a quarterback that's went to Cleveland and come out of Cleveland successful. Not a lot, if any. That's where quarterback careers go to die in Cleveland, because they don't have an offensive line. Deshaun Kaiser? Nobody. Cleveland got a better team now than they've had in years, so I'll give them a chance. Case Keenum. Who?
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He'll be stopped short of the 25.
I disagree on that.
Nice move, couldn't free him.
Kaepernick, we know why Cap not on the team. It ain't got nothing to do with his talent. We know why Kaepernick ain't on the team. We ain't going to discuss that. Even Tom Brady said Kaepernick should be. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers said Kaepernick should be on the NFL roster. We all know why Kaepernick not on the team.
They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Case Keenum, I'm sorry. No, he's not a great quarterback to me.
We'll come back to Ford Field after this.
RG3 was a pocket. RG3 could pass for the pocket. He did at Baylor. And he did for Washington. But what Washington, I think Washington kind of messed up RG3 because they utilized his ability to run. They molded an offense around his running ability. And so it takes away that pocket presence. You see what I'm saying? What they should have did was got him and taught him how to stay in the pocket and throw, as opposed to letting him do what he do just to get some W's. And in that, he got injured. And in that, I think, hurt his career. You said what, man?
The 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses.
Yeah. So John, I retract that the earlier statement. I'll agree with you on that. His knee did have something to do with it, but what caused the knee injury was the way that Washington was playing him, the way that they played him. Not to mention, you draft 2 quarterbacks in the same year. Like, what did you really expect was going to go on, you know?
They'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean. On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter.
But Case Keenum, man, I'm just like, you know, I'm talking about some good quarterbacks that we talking about every week, you know.
Imagine it'll stay tight throughout.
Yeah, I think RG3 is a really good quarterback. Like I said, he just got into a bad situation at Washington, and I feel like you know, him going to the Browns was just because people are like, oh man, he's washed up. Oh man, you know, it's the Browns. They don't have an offensive line. I don't care what quarter. Michael Vick could go to the Browns and not have. Peyton Manning couldn't play good for the Browns. They don't have an offensive line.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And no escaping this time.
You got to have an offensive line.
They got him for a sack. Now before this second down.
Because if you don't, then you're going to be running for your life. Now, that's another thing, too, when we on the subject of offensive line, is talking about quarterbacks, great quarterbacks. Or is Tom Brady such a good quarterback because of his offensive line? I would have to say yes. Everybody talking about Tom Brady, they need to be talking about his offensive line.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford.
It's the NFL. I think any quarterback can make the important throws in the game if their offensive line is good.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and very long.
You see what I'm saying? That's one thing to consider as well. Tom Brady is great, yes, but it's because of his offensive line, because we see what happens when these quarterbacks get pressured. They don't perform as well. Some of them perform very well under pressure.
The first of many sacks in a long career.
And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half.
Tom Brady's receivers ain't good, man. I'm gonna tell you, the receivers. I'm gonna tell you something. It goes to the offensive line, man. If the quarterback got time to throw, I don't care. The way that the NFL is set up right now, any receiver can get open. Any receiver can get open in today's NFL because the defenses can't play as tough on them. You see what I'm saying? So it's easy for them to get open. You know? It's all about, do the quarterback have time to throw them the football?
Lions have it early in the second. The football is going to be up for grabs here. Falcons end up picking up the ball and scoring.
Yeah.
The Falcons go up by 18.
London game Sunday.
And we will skip the.
But you see what I'm saying? I feel like it's the same way when it comes to DBs. I mean, wide receivers. Like you said, the Patriots wide receivers are good. The Patriots are good not because of the players. The Patriots are good because of the coaching. Like I told you, when you get to the NFL, it's all about the X's and O's because everybody is talented. You give the right quarterback the right offensive line, and he's going to be just as good as Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. I guarantee it.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
If the offensive line is great, the quarterback has time to sit in the pocket, and that gives the wide receivers time to get into their routes. Because if a wide receiver is able to run his route efficient enough, he going to get open. Somebody's going to be open. There's not going to be nobody open. Only time there's nobody open, when you hear about a coverage sack, the coverage sack comes because of that offensive line didn't hold their blocks long enough. What's the...
Man on the outside. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
That's where they come from. Now, yeah, sometimes you do get a straight cover sack. You know, I think if it's in zone coverage, you see a lot more cover sacks in zone coverage as you do in man.
First and 10 now.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, the Browns, they offensively, after they lost Pryor, I don't know how they could have let a guy like that go.
So the razzle-dazzle didn't get him much. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care how good a defender you are. You can't hold the wide receivers forever. So the more time the quarterback has in the pocket, why do you think it's so big for quarterbacks to have a lot of time in the pocket? So that wide receivers can get open. Because if he don't have a lot of time, then the routes don't get a chance to develop. Prime time, as good as he was covering people, he couldn't sit there and cover people all day. No. They hate you got to have guys that can get to the football.
And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Do you a favor? What's up, Antonio?
The Lions on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
See that? Even in this game right here.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual.
The line helps with the running game as well. I agree. To me, the most valuable and the highest paid position on the field shouldn't be the quarterback. It should be the offensive and defensive lineman. Because even for a defense, it works the same way. If you have an outstanding defensive line, then you can have mediocre secondary backs. You can have so-so or mediocre linebackers. Why? Because the defensive line is going to get sacks and they're going to stop runs in the backfield. They're going to put pressure on the quarterback. And when a quarterback is under pressure, he's going to make bad throws. And that's going to make so-so DBs look really good. It's going to make them look good.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now.
Yeah, I'll listen to it, Antonio.
Surrender any points.
Sherman almost traded to the Dolphins. See, that's another stupid move right there. You don't trade a cornerback like Richard Sherman unless you just have to. Unless it's for salary cap reasons or something like that. But the Dolphins will love to have him, and then he'll go to the Dolphins, and he'll be just as good as he is with the Seahawks. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't be as good. Why? Because he doesn't have that supporting cast. But it's different when you play a cornerback. You don't need a supporting cast because interesting thing about playing in the secondary, especially cornerback, is that you by yourself. It's you. It's you. It ain't like linebackers. See, a linebacker can mess up in coverage because he got secondary backs covering him. The secondary backs mess up in coverage, that's it. Because it ain't nobody else to get their back. That's why the secondary backs are the most athletic position on the field. Guys that might make outstanding receivers who can't catch, guess where they put them? Secondary.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
O-linemen need to start holding. I agree with you. I agree with you. Only reason we ain't talking about offensive line is because nobody know offensive linemen. They don't make the plays. But if you play football, you know how important offensive and defensive linemen are. You know how important they are. A good defensive lineman can change an entire defense. Nah, they've been talking about trading Richard Sherman for a long time. That's been the talk of the offseason in a way. Not the talk, but they've been talking about it the offseason. But yeah, even like I said, even the defensive line. The defensive line the same way. Defensive line make the linebackers look real good. If they can keep guys off of them, this is defensive line job. Keep them offensive linemen off of them linebackers gonna make plays just like the running backs. The defensive line put pressure on the quarterback, make him get rid of that ball when he don't want to. Secondary back's gonna be getting interceptions.
They've got to right the ship. They had a great.
You know, they say behind every good man is a good woman. Well, behind every good quarterback is an outstanding offensive line. You name me one good quarterback that had a bad offensive line and was still successful. I'll wait. It ain't gonna happen.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, I heard of a show called All. I used to watch all that, man. I used to watch that when I was little. I used to watch that.
But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Stafford. He's going to let one fly for Tate. That's close.
Wow. How did he get past the safeties? Trash. See what I'm saying? Y'all, that's a perfect example right there. Cam Newton didn't have a good offensive. Tim, you lying again, boy. You lying again. Cam Newton did have a good offensive line. But that's a perfect example right here, y'all. Quarterback had all day to throw. Receiver going to be open. Somebody going to be open. You put pressure on him, that play don't happen. Cam Newton did have he had a decent offensive line. He might not have had the best offensive line in football, but the year they went to the playoffs, Cam Newton had a good offensive line. Our O-line is horrible. Yes, exactly. Andrew Luck is a great quarterback. But this is the thing, quarterbacks are limited. If they don't have an offensive line, you see what I'm saying? But you have some quarterbacks that have really good offensive lines and they still horrible. The theme song is still, it is, I still like it too. Yeah, man. Cam Newton offensive line ain't bad though. He hurt because he scrambled too much? Nah, that's just his playing style, man. I mean, everybody's gotten hurt. Name me one quarterback that ain't got hurt. Brady's been hurt. Brett Favre's been hurt. Peyton Manning's been hurt. You know, you play the quarterback position, you're going to get some injuries. That's going to happen. Joe Montana got hurt. Steve Young. Troy Aikman. Romo. Prescott play long enough, he'll get hurt. You know, you can't just say it's because he scrambled, because you got quarterbacks to stay in the pocket and still get hurt. Bradford couldn't even stay healthy in college, though. That ain't no surprise. But, yeah, so, I mean, you know how hard it is to block for a scrambling quarterback? I want you to go look on YouTube and look up. It was an interview they did with the offensive lineman from the Falcons. I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but it was on TV, how they was talking about how it is blocking for Vic. It ain't easy. Look at that. Come on, Desmond. Boy, you getting burned like you stole something. I'm guarding the number one receiver.
His first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are a two-point conversion away from tying this game.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high.
Look at that. That boy just got toasted, man. They're going to come back and win. Oh, it's tied. No. Atlanta blew another lead. Let me go in and crib this kickoff return for us.
Right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep.
Ah, get that block, dude. If you block that dude, that's 6. Let me show you the block that he should have got. I can't even. Why can you not go to instant replay in this game? That is so stupid to me, man. Ah, man. Cam need to stay in the pocket. I mean, he played. You got to look at this, man. If you was a mobile quarterback, would you stay in the pocket? No, because he's made plays not staying in the pocket. It breaks down defenses. When a guy like Cam Newton gets to the outside, you think he's gonna run, and he just pops up and throw the ball. So I mean, it's times I probably wouldn't stay in the pocket either.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
Case Keenum. Case Keenum, nah. I'm sorry. He's not in my top 10. He ain't in my top 20.
Yards in his career, fastest ever, and he adds to that yardage total there.
I'm not sure anyone in the league has a more confident arm than Matthew Stafford does. He can wait until they're actually open before delivering, as opposed to anticipating them being open.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Deion Jones.
These boys blew a lead. We was up 30-something to what?
Drop him for a loss of about 10.
All right, hold on. Let me finish this.
On Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Who you talking about the worst? Who's the worst? Who you talking about?
Stafford to the right side to Eric Ebron. They'll get 9 there as that sets him.
That's not true, Sean. Always a quarterback who runs with the football always gets hurt. That's not true. I just explained that. If that's the case, then quarterbacks who don't run with the football don't get hurt. Peyton Manning had neck surgery. Eli Manning's been hurt. It ain't been a quarterback who started that hadn't been hurt. Now, with them running, does that give them a higher chance of getting hurt? Probably, because they're going to take more hits. But that don't mean because they run that they get hurt. Thank you, John. Thank you. Yeah. You can't say just because, oh, he got hurt because he run the football so much. No. Anybody can get hurt. If that's the case, wide receivers and running backs would be hurt all the time. Oh, wait, they do. Players get hurt. It's football.
This might be the best of the bunch.
Tebow time.
On 1st down, Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle.
Tebow won some playoff games. That's what I'll say about Tebow. People say Tebow. I'm going to tell you why Tebow ain't in the league. Tebow ain't in the NFL for the same reason Kaepernick not in the NFL. Because people don't want to hear about what they doing. People can sit here and say all day that Tim Tebow was a bad quarterback. The media put Tebow was a bad quarterback out there because Tebow stood up for his religion, and people didn't like that. People didn't like that. They want you to keep that stuff silent in football. When they come to play football, watch football, all they want to see you is all they want to see is you playing football. They don't want to hear about your religion. They don't want to hear about what you're going through in life. They don't want to hear about your problems. None of that. They don't want to hear about that stuff. Tebow won more playoff games than some of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now who ain't won none. And you mean to tell me, nah, man, did he have the best arm? No. But there's plenty of quarterbacks that don't have the best arms that are still winners. Some guys are just winners. The guy is a winner. I think they should have gave him more time in the league. The Jets is what hurt Tebow because Rex Ryan only got Tebow to put butts in seats. Not to mention the Jets didn't have a good offensive line, so it didn't matter who they had at quarterback. It didn't matter who they had at quarterback.
This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a road.
Why do you think he did so good in Denver? He had a good offensive line in Denver. Then you get time to work with him on his throwing motion and stuff. Because, yeah, Tebow ran for a lot of yards in the SEC, but he also threw for a lot.
This is 3rd and long. Again, it's Stafford. This is Riddick.
You know, people say, well, just change your throwing style. Well, you've been playing a certain way all your life, you know. It's kind of hard to just up and change that.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, true. I'll agree with you on that. It is a shame. It's a darn shame. But then Ray Lewis came out and said,
Come back, see what transpires after this.
Ray Lewis came out and said that they was talking about signing Kaepernick till his girlfriend posted that thing about Ray Lewis and the head coach. I don't think that's true. I don't think Baltimore was going to sign him. I think Ray Lewis just saying that because his girlfriend posted that picture and it made him mad. So he going to make it like, oh, you shouldn't, look, you want some payback, guess what? We was going to sign Cap until you posted that picture. I don't believe that. Because if they wanted him, they would have signed him regardless of that picture. What better way to make her eat her words than for them to sign him? Nah. Why you the coach and you talking about pray for us because you want to sign him? Man, Ray Lewis better get out of there. And I had much respect for Ray Lewis till all this Kaepernick stuff started happening and you start seeing, you know, that people's opinions. It's like, dude, where are you coming from with this, man? But John, let me tell you something, because I played quarterback middle school and high school, and I threw sidearm. It's not easy to change your throwing motion. It's not that, especially when you've been doing it all those years, high school and college and everything. It is not easy to change your throwing motion. I promise you that. Even if you're willing to, it's not easy. It's not that easy. It's just doing something different. I mean, you got to think he been going all through high school, college, and everything. You expect him to change his throwing motion within a couple of weeks? It ain't gonna happen. And then, too, you don't give him the time to do it.
This will be taken in at the 1.
And then I have to wonder, was there anything ever wrong with his throwing motion, or was that just an excuse not to put him on the field? His throwing motion was good enough to compete in college.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back on.
You know, people talking about his throwing motion, it's the same people that said, oh, Doug Flutie's too small to play quarterback, and look what he did in the NFL.
As they wind up winners. Trevor Siemian, a touchdown pass to help lead the way.
No. Is it Chike? No, he talking about he talking about Tim Tebow's throwing motion. He's not talking about Kaepernick's. He talking about Tebow's throwing motion.
They'll run on first down. Hill.
And that's another thing too, you know.
14. 2 yards on the carry there.
Oh, okay, I got you, John.
I like a guy who understands the situation.
But I'm not disagreeing with you, John. He does have to be willing to, but he was willing to, and he was working towards changing it. You see, because they would even show videos, and he was even talking about them working with him on the throwing motion and stuff. He was willing. They just, like I said, they just didn't give him a chance, and we just lost to the Detroit Lions after being up.
He's in big trouble.
Ooh, I missed that tackle.
Oh, he's got a little daylight.
Not gonna miss this one. I didn't get a chance, so I was gonna hit Stickers behind. How we? Chike? Chike? Okay.
Points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can
Chike.
they? I mean,
Okay.
what a game to put up that number of points.
I'm sorry. I have not been trying to say that this whole time because I have not. I did not want to butcher that at all.
Carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you still
Okay,
think you can do
I got
anything
you.
wrong, whatever you
I hope I don't forget
it's
that.
all gonna work.
Hope I don't
That's
forget.
called being in the zone.
So for the Lions, it's
Yep, Atlanta blew the lead like they did in the Super Bowl today. That's one thing I kind of don't like about playing single players because, you know, we probably could have won that game. Offense makes some bad decisions, and then Desmond Trufant getting burnt, which is tough because Trufant he's so good at corner, man, but the game make him trash, man. We got a defensive touchdown and I cribbed the kick return, and we still lost the game.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis.
Look at that, 364 passing yards. That wasn't on me. They didn't throw to my side. Who was that 364 on? The safeties? Desmond? Because I was shut down. I was shut down. I don't know what they talking about.
From Ford Field.
They caught a couple of passes on me, but I ain't get burnt. I kept everything in front of me. That's another thing I don't like. Madden showed like the outside of Pittsburgh Stadium. You don't see that in the game nowhere. The stuff they showed in the trailer, it's like, why they don't show that in the game? But oh well. But y'all, I'm finna get off of here for right now, because I got to give me something to eat. And I got to do some stuff for the missus around the house. But I'm going to stream later on today. So, y'all, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Great discussion, by the way. Y'all bring that to the table. If I don't go to the game tonight, then I'll stream again tonight. But I don't know if we plan on going to the game or not. So, we'll just have to see, y'all. But that's all we got for right now, y'all. Till next time, y'all. And like we say all the time, God bless.